What's up, everybody? It's 5 weeks left in the regular season. Excuse me, just woke up. When you're in public accounting, you work all week, and on the weekends, you continue to work. So I'm taking a break from my work. Talk about some fantasy football. Looking at week 9. It's a big game last week. We already touched on this on the message board. Obviously, my internet's back up, so we're doing good. I got a big game against Big D. The projections say I'm projected to win by a point. Not sure how that's going to pan out. There's some injury concerns on his end with Anquan Bolden and Kevin Smith. But I don't know how that's going to turn out. They might end up playing, but we'll have to see. I will crush Chris against Texas Sledgehammers. This is a big game, and the reason why I say this is a big game because this has a lot of playoff implications related to it. Texas Sledgehammers, as always, is projected to score a ton of points, 137, and I will crush Chris is projected for $1.29. And looking at the lineup. Texas Sledgehammers has Julius Jones starting in place of Adrian Peterson on a bye. Not sure how that's going to work out for him. And Ryan Grant's projected to score 19 points. I don't know about that. Donald Driver's projected to score 18. These projections might be, I've already said that they're kind of silly, but looking at this, Donald Driver's projected to score more points than Reggie Wayne. So I will crush Chris on his side. He's got Benson back, which is big. He didn't have him last week, which contributed to his loss to Alien. He's got Randy Moss back. Wow, he's rolling on all cylinders now. He's got Miles Austin as his flex. Kurt Warner. If he's getting blitzed and pressure, he's not going to perform kind of like the way he did this past week. It's kind of a toss-up there. I'm going to lean and say that I will crush Chris takes that one. Heavy Whales against Trainwrecks. Trainwreck's got a big win this past week. He's now 2-6. This is, whoever wins this game is 3-6. And between Heavy Whales and Trainwrecks. And, the way the projections are looking, Trainwrecks is looking to get about 124 points, and Heavy Whales is looking at only looking at 99, but looks like his running back isn't projected to score any points. Yeah, Muelde Moore might not get on the field, but Donald Brown, I think he's hurt. So, the waiver wire is tough. The waiver wire is tough now, unless there's an injury or something. It's really tough to get guys in that are going to be seeing the field. And Trainwrecks has Tom Brady back. And he had the win last week without Tom Brady, incidentally, I believe. It's got Rashard Mendenhall there, yeah. I'm going to go with Trainwrecks on that one. Let's see, another big game. Hey, Thunder from Down Under against number 1 in the league, Real American Gangsters. Real American Gangsters had a huge win this past week, as you all might have seen. Although it looks like this week he's going to be starting Matt Hasselbeck, who you would maybe question, but he's playing the Lions, so he's actually projected to score 23.6 points. Real American Gangsters overall is projected for 136. Thunder from Down Under is projected for 128. Thunder from Down Under, he's got guys like Ricky Williams, D'Angelo Williams. Brian Westbrook's on his bench. That's interesting. He might change that before the game, since I think Westbrook's gonna be playing, but. He's got Mike Sims Walker, really didn't do much last week. Derek Mason, Austin Collie. Real American Gangsters, he's got Chris Johnson, who's had an absolutely 200 some odd yards, career high, 89-yard touchdown run, ridiculous. He's got guys like, he's starting Reggie Bush and Devery Henderson. He's got a lot of guys. No, he's not. He's got Andre Johnson on the bench and no Sean Marino. I'm sure he'll be adjusting that prior to the game. Wow, when he adjusts that, his projections are going to go even higher. Wow. Yeah, so he's probably projected to score more out of everybody because he's got Andre Johnson on his bench right now. So I'll go with Real American Gangsters on that one. Lakaka against Reapers. Playing Lukaku at 6-2 is just playing the New Orleans Saints, and they're playing the Panthers this week, and so I think he'll be fine. Reaper's another tough loss. He needs to switch out his kicker because his kicker's on a bye. That could be actually pretty big. And yeah, I mean, he's got LT isn't doing much. Ahmad Bradshaw, maybe isn't doing that much. But when you got Breeze, Colston, Shockey, and then you just fill in with some other guys like the Steelers defense and stuff, you're fine. So I'm gonna go with Lukaku on that one. And then finally, another big game. Wow, 6-2 versus the Aliens at 6-2 versus the best around Chuck Norris at 5-3. Chuck Norris had a huge win this past week against Texas Sledgehammers. He's looking to continue the streak. This is probably the toughest stretch of his schedule because after this he comes back into the division where he'll likely play guys like Real American Gangsters. But looking at the lineups here, Aliens has Phillip Rivers, Michael Turner, Clinton Portis. Vincent Jackson has been on an absolute tear. He's definitely gotten to beast-like status. He's got Mark Clayton in there as his other receiver. Not sure how that'll pan out. The Titans defense is in there, but they've been playing awful. I wouldn't put much stock in them. It looks like best around Chuck Norris is missing his defense. He's got McNabb, Jacobs, Maurice Jones-Drew absolutely went off in that same game against the Titans, but he ended up losing. Had like 9 carries for 180 yards. Jamal Charles is in the starting lineup along with Nate Burleson. Not sure about that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Aliens takes this one. And I'm saying that because I don't believe in guys like Jamal Charles. I'm just saying. But if I'm wrong, hey, who knew? So, anyways, overall, things are getting tight. It's week 9. There's 5 weeks left in the season. These are the games that really count. I think after this week, it goes, we're going to have another week of non-divisional games. And then finally after that, it looks like we're going to get back into the division. So, Ruby Sundays, keep it locked. You know what this is.